Today we have got a ceiling repair to do. Someone's put their foot through the ceiling and we're going to make it look nice. Okay, we are now ready, all fully protected as you can see. The door. We are now ready to cut away, square up the hole. See how far the damage goes. Right, so this is the hole. Accidentally popped a foot through the ceiling, easily done. So we can see there's a joist just there. So luckily it's come out this side, so it's neatly lined up with that joist. We'll find that other joist, cut a line along that joist there, bring it out here, cut a nice, square it all off nicely, so then we can get a nice square bit of plasterboard, and that will patch much nicer. So there's a few different ways you can cut this out. We have found the other joist here, we've marked it there, so now we've got this measurement, and then we've taken it to the furthest damaged section here. We're measuring that as well. We're then going to cut a plasterboard to that size, bring the plasterboard up, use it as a template, pencil around it very neatly. Then we will cut out the hole with this, and then we'll fix up the new board. So the board's cut, fits nicely. So now, just for extra strength, we're going to add 2 more bits of timber, one going across there, and then one half fixed to the existing ceiling, and then the other half is going to be for the new board. And then the new panel will be incredibly secure, which is what we want, ready to be patched in. So I've just used some 60mm decking screws or timber screws to secure the battens to the ceiling joists, so they're fixed in position. Here's my trusty Festing auto gun, my favourite. Put on there. Now, put in there. And then also do one on the other side. Oh no, thought the battery went out then. No, still good. All the way around the perimeter. Could be a bit cumbersome, a bit big for the very tight spots where I'm up against the clothing. That's where this little handy 12V comes in. Finish off any that missed. Okay. And it's probably difficult to see on the camera, but when I screwed this into the new batten, you should have noticed it actually pulled it straight. So there was a big bow where the foot went through the ceiling, it pushed it down a bit. So re-securing it around the edges has secured it back tight to the ceiling joists. So that is now much more secure. Okay, one extra step here. In order to, because artex is notoriously tricky to blend in seamlessly, and you could argue it's without redoing the whole ceiling, it won't really, you'll always sort of be able to tell. but by trimming, because we need to put some fibre mesh over the cracks all around the edges, around the joins, but that's going to create a bump over the ceiling. So to get around that, you'll see Kris is now just Stanleying a very small section where the tape's going to go, and he will just remove a thin paper section, and that should just give the thickness of the fibre tape and the artex to patch in much more effectively than if we'd have just gone over the top. Primer is now fully dried, and now we are applying our beautiful, pretty, extra sticky pink scrim. You see we've just kept it on the inside of what's been cut out. You can get all sorts of different colours of scrim. In my experience, there's not a massive amount of difference. We are using artex powder, very small patch, so it's just a 5 kilogram bag there. You can get them in 25 kilogram bags. Most of our work is actually smoothing artex these days, not artexing. So it makes a nice little change. That's 100 in there. I'm going to start with just a little bit. So we've mixed up some stiff artex. We're just going to put a bit over the fibre tape. We'll flatten that off with the trowel, and then we will wet up the artex to a more workable consistency, and then we will apply it over the top to do the pattern. Little trick with these little screw holes: if you mix it a little bit stiff, just pop it on with your finger, and then you can actually just patch them in pretty well. You see there, a couple of holes there, and then that blends in quite nicely. And now all the fibre tape, or the scrim as we call it, is fully covered with the stiffer gear. We'll then mix up slightly wetter gear. You'll see here it's much wetter now. This wet enough to actually apply with a roller, although it is very like incredibly thick paint consistency, I'd say. So we're literally rollering it on. Camera is
probably as good as this roller.
This is going very fast. Let's zoom that out a bit. And you're sort of rollering on. This is only a small patch, so we're only using a small roller, but obviously if you were doing a big area, you would use a bigger roller. So that is now pretty much on. So once that's on, you then need to match this particular ceiling is broken leather, a type of. It's difficult to see there, but you can see the broken leather. That is achieved with an artex sponge with a polythene bag or a cushion with some polythene over it. We're going to use a jumbo sponge in a bag to match in today. Traditionally, broken leather is sort of a press and twist motion, but it's only a small patch, so it's sort of a case of trying to match into the existing pattern as best you can. Let's see here. Where the swirls sort of half meet the patch, we're trying to mimic that, to follow them on as best as possible. It's difficult to get the angle here, but it's a bit, you can see the pattern a bit clearer here. Obviously it's still quite wet and shiny at the minute, obviously it'll dry white. You see where the pattern swirls around, it's mimicked that into there. And then again, once this is all painted, and that is one patched artex ceiling. This will need painting, it will dry much lighter, but I am very happy with that patch.